Hello racing fans and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best. Bet with WSB. Well, what's happening on this weekend show? It is a double header. On Saturday we race at Kenilworth, and it's a massive day for World Sports Betting. Our sponsor, it is the Winter Series featuring the Langeman, which is a Group 3. They got the Pocket Power Stakes, the River Jatez Stakes, along with the Olympic Duel Stakes, the Ladies Mile, the Iridescent Stakes. So it's all happening at Kenilworth on a Saturday, and I expect a bumper pool there. So what I've done is I've done a pick six for that center, which will be a guide for you. Maybe you can jot those numbers down and play around it. So we got a pick six at Kenilworth, and as always we got our 4 to follow. I've got 3 at Greyville and just the 1 at Kenilworth. It is a massive week leading up to the Hollywood Bets Durban July. We saw the final field announcement, we saw the gallops on Thursday as well, and it's exciting times. And of course World Sports Betting will be doing their card call on this Sunday, the 26th, and we'll be doing it online. And I've got a guest who needs no introduction when it comes to South African and international racing, the mighty Mike de Kock. But I'll touch on that at the end of the show as well. I think for now, there's lots of housekeeping which we'll get to, but I think for now let's go to our 4 to follow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with Sunday, because we're doing that pick 6 on Saturday at Kenilworth. I'm going to start with the horses that I've picked out on Sunday at Greyville, and then we'll move over to Saturday with our sponsors race day. That's World Sports Betting at Kenilworth. Okay, let's go with our 4 to follow on Sunday. This is now, and we'll go in race number 1, which is over 1,200 meters. It is the KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Day, and we wish them all the best. Race 1, we're going to begin early with number 3, Will Omi, guard puller's runner, and it was clear to see that this filly was just given an education first time out. She looked to be lost for most of the way. She was outpaced in a big field of 12, and she was then starting to catch the eye. She was at any price, I think around 66 to 1 was the starting price, and she only got going when the race was over. She was beaten 2.5 lengths. That form line has held up well, but her next start showed that how one run can bring these young horses on, because she was more alert in the running. She was up with the early pace and speed, and she ran all the way to the line, beating Canadian Summer. And we know that Canadian Summer has since gone on to bigger and better things. Yes, she's back to back now with her wins, and she added the listed Devonair Stakes to her name, and she won that in impressive style, beating a fair field of 2-year-olds as well. So that form line is looking good. 1,200 meters for this daughter of Willow Magic will be no issue. The way she won last time out over 5 furlongs, she made it look very easy. The form has held up. She's nicely drawn at 3. Do I see a problem with the surface? No, I don't. I think Polytrack from that draw, Athandiwe Mgutla, who's got to know her very well, will have the run of the race. So that's race 1, number 3, Will Omi. Then on to race number 3. And this filly is an absolute standout in black and white. Her name is Winter Smoke, trained by Ashley Fortune. She's a 5-time winner. She has won on the Polytrack, and she was the winner of the Camellia Stakes at a penultimate start, where she beat a quality field. In that race was Sounds of Warning, who was second and came out to run a very good third behind Captain's Ransom in the South African filly sprint, whereas this filly, she didn't shape up in that South African filly sprint. It was not her run at all. Not that we were expecting her to win, but I expected a bit better than, just under 7 lengths behind Captain's Ransom. So we're going to forgive her for that start. But what's clear to see is that in the best weighted column, she is an absolute standout here. I just want to double check that. Yeah, it is 7 kgs better off with the next best weighted in the race. I mean, that is way ahead of this field. And what's also clear to see is that the average rating of this field is an 82. And what she's been racing against, 109, 105, 101, 112, 106, 99, 101, and the list just goes on. So she's faced far stronger in her career. She's beaten, far better than she meets in this field. and very, very hard to oppose. There's no other way to see it. In black and white, she just looks like a good thing by a mile here, and I'm hoping that she will get the job done. Winter Smoke, and she has one on the poly, if I didn't mention that, and she just looks very, very hard to post. So she will be a confident choice for many in all the all-to-comes and exotics as well. Race 3, number 5, Winter Smoke. I picked out one more on Sunday as well, and comes up in race number 4. Now, at first glance, this looks to be a very open race, which it is, because there's lots of form to work around. But Michael Robertson's runner called Ad Altissima, partnered by Rachel Vinica, a 5-year-old polytrack specialist, and you have to see that she is clear in the best weighted column as well. She's 2 kgs better off with the next best weighted in the race, which is Sekulu. And 4 of her 5 wins have been on the polytrack. 3 of them have been over the course and distance. And just like we spoke about Winter Smoke earlier on, the average rating in this field is a 77. Now look at what he's been racing again at Altissima: 94, 100, 105, 104, 86, 94, 91, 100, the list goes on. So he's faced much stronger than he meets here, and the fact that he loves the polytrack, he enjoys the distance. Rachel Vinica has won on him as well. I think he actually won this race, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correct. I think he won this race in 2020, yeah, the KZN Breeders 1200, and he won that in good style as well at Altissima. So I'll be hoping to win this race for a second time. I think the field that he meets, the way he races on the surface, it could be bang on, yeah, and I expect him to be a decent price as well. So that's race number 4 at Altissima. And I mentioned that Kenilworth, we've just found one horse, but we're doing a pick 6 for Kenilworth. And the one horse is going to be the horse that most of us are going to be rooting for on the day, because he's on track to win the Winter Series. And I must give credit to trainer Pete Steyn. He's just done a superb, outstanding job with this horse called Gem King, who won the World Sports Betting Variety Club Mile. He's won the World Sports Betting Legal Eagle Stakes, and his last win in the World Sports Betting Legal Eagle Stakes was the most impressive of his career thus far. The confidence that Richard Fourie had to sit this horse at the back of the field, have so much ground to make up going into the final 400. I think it was around 10 lengths that he had to make up, and to give him that a confident ride just tells you what he thinks about the horse and the horse's ability. Because when he pressed the button, that was it. This horse found a stride, and he actually won going away. So 1800 meters last time out, he was super impressive. Now some may argue that when he was tried in the Derby, did he see out the distance of 2000 meters? Now he's going 2400 meters. They are stretching him. I think it'll unfair to try and judge him on that run, considering that the opposition that he met that day, when I looked at it, the horses that were in front of him were rated 125, 117, 113. They were way above him in the ratings. He was really thrown in the deep end by trainer Pete Steyn that day. And I don't think he was, disgraced as such. He was a 66-1 shot, and he ran accordingly. But since that run, he's just gone from strength to strength. He's reeled off the hat-trick last time out. He's on 4 on a bounce. I don't see a problem with him going 2400 meters, and we'll be rooting for Pete Steyn to get the Winter Series in the bag. I mean, wouldn't that be something? Because this horse is a horse that has caught our imagination down in Cape Town, just the way he runs and the way he races. And of course, he's from one of the smaller yards down in the Cape, the stable of Pete Steyn. So number 1, Gem King in the World Sports Betting Pocket Power Stakes, a Group 3 over 2400 meters. We're hoping, fingers crossed, Pete Steyn, that your horse gets the job done. So that's the only horse that I've picked up. And then I told you that I'm going to be doing a pick 6 at Kenilworth on Saturday. Because when you look at the races, with all the feature races carded, I expect a sizable pool on the day. So we worked one around Gem King in race number 7. In leg 1, we're just going with 4 horses, 1, 2, and 4. Rainy Newmarket, Veronica Mars, 4 and 5, apologies, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Do Angels Cry and Silver Sabre, so 1, 2, 4, and 5. In leg number 2, which is race number 5, I've gone with 1, 4, and 6. I've gone with all 3 of the Brett Crawford runners. Can't split them. Don't know what will happen. But I think Brett does hold the key to winning race number 5. That'll be number 1, Kitty Cat Chat, 4, Wow Wow Wow, and 6, Walk of Fame. Race number 6, which is the World Sports Betting River Test Stakes, a listed race over 2,400 meters. I couldn't make up my mind. First I went with 3 horses, then I went with 4 horses, and because it is a 7-horse field, I'm going with the rule. If it's more than half the field, we'll include the field. So we'll multiply that by 6 at the time of recording the show. Sorry, multiply it by 7 at the time of recording our show. And then we're going with our banker race number 7, Gem King. Come on, Gem King, do it for trackside if we're running in that pick 6. And of course, do it for the all to come bets as well. And then race number 8, which is the World Sport Betting Live Casino Hybrid Stakes over 1,200 meters. Yeah, I've managed to narrow this down to 4 runners, 1, 2, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 5, and 6 Resonate, Speed Machine, Double Charge, and Surjay. 1, 2, 5, and 6. And then the lucky last, if you're going in this pick 6, I think these 4 numbers should be good enough. They look like the right horses in the field. Number 1, Signora Victoria. That's number 1, 4, 5, and 9. 4 being Heir of Royalty, 5 being Global Avenue, and 9 being Love is a Rose. So that's going to be the numbers. So you got the 2 trebles up on the World Sports Betting menu. That will be Gravel and Kenilworth. And then the pick 6. These are the numbers. First leg, Kenilworth, pick 6 on Saturday. 1, 2, 4, 5. By 1, 4, 6. By the field, multiplied by 7. By 1 a banker, Gem King. By 1, 2, 5, and 6. And then that last leg will be 1, 4, 5, and 9. That spend, I think, will be, let me just work that out quickly. Multiply that out, that spend will be 1,344 Rand. 1,344 Rand or 135 Rand will get you 10%. And that is a wrap of the show with regards to our horses and the trebles and of course the pick 6. And of course now we have the final field for the Hollywood Bets Durban in July. And I mentioned it's an exciting time of the year. Well, it's an exciting time for world sports betting as well. And that is why they're giving you 20% back on free play for all your deposits matched up to 100,000 Rand. So now is the time to play. Why you say so? Because you need to be topped up, you need to be loaded, and you need to be ready to fire on Sunday from 6:30 onwards online. I'll have Mike de Kock as my guest on the show, and of course he's got 4 runners in the race. Aragosta, he's got Al Mutana, he's got the filly Sparkling Water, and of course he's got the top one, which is Safe Passage. So he's going to give us all the info with his runners. But top your account up, get your 20% in free play, because when you load it on Sunday, we are going to be giving you boosted odds. And I think boosted odds is just a lack of what's going to be happening, because we are going to be giving you the best odds in town for this year's Hollywood Bets Durban July. It is a card call with a discussion with Mike de Kock, and again, that'll be 6:30 on Sunday, which will be streamed online. And I think we're all looking forward to now the next week leading up to Africa's premier horse racing event. It is that time of the year, guys, but you need to be ready for Sunday, because you miss it, you are going to be missing out, because it's going to be a live show, and all those prices that are going to be up are only going to be up for a limited time. So you need to look sharp, and I look forward to being in your company and hosting that show and having our guest there, the ambassador to South African racing on the international stage, the mighty Mike de Kock. Until we meet again, which will be next week, we'll have a bumper show next week leading up into the Hollywood Bets Durban July. You take care. From the entire team at World Sports Betting and myself, Deez, Dayanand, as always, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Take care. Salaniga.